Hey, team, how we going? It is Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz, and I am going a little bit themed Cotton Eye Joe at the moment. And for all of those that are at Kapooka at the moment that might be watching, the new Hilton for so many, it's actually almost too hot in here. I've got Kentucky Fried Chicken downstairs and some nuggets, Coca-Cola, some beers and other assorted novelties. And I just thought I'd come up and stream instead. You don't have that option. G'day, Fugly. How you going? Our first ever member. Dave D, Double D, Lauren is shining. All the moderators pouring in. Is the Barbie here? I won't talk about titles yet. I'm not talking about native title. We've got ABF there. Attack by fire, we'd call that in the Australian Army. We've got Anthony Young's son. Tony, good to have you here. And we've got Daz as well, who was first off tonight. Well done, Daz. And we've got your question. We'll answer that tonight too. We preload our questions from our Patreon team, and that will now pass over onto our members as well. So Robbie Kent, the master of hounds, the hound master. We've got the returning man. G'day, Kaz. How you going? I'm doing very well. Username is getting ready to roll out the door to go to the Hilton, also known as Kapooka Bootcamp, recruit training, the lowest ranked location in winter. We've got Kirsten, who said she probably couldn't make it tonight. I was going to do a call out for her because she said she was working. I've got you right at the top, Kirsten. Great to have you here. Bow to you. Well done. We've got peace in Australia at the moment. We've got Costa. We've got Colaris. Costa Colaris. It's a good name. Arctic Ace. The Arctic Ace. G'day, mate. How you going? My favourite chewing gum is here, PK. Better than juicy fruit every time. We've got Deli Saw with the black hand because black hands matter. Or it's an unwashed hand or an unwiped hand. Or it has wiped. We've got the Drunk Aussie. I wish I was. We've got Jack here. Kaz, I'm a Navy boy and my rim burns. I eat curry and chili and I've got ulcerative colitis. I know what you're talking about, but I've never tried to hide a cabin boy up my clacker. Mr. Patterson, also now known as the Barber, is here. Had dinner, now listen to Gibber. You'll be asleep within half an hour, I bet you. Daz, howdy all, and howdy Kaz. G'day, Daz, how you going? Got your question right here, mate. We've got Toller. G'day, mate, how you going? Fig Mini, everything Kaz, evening Kaz. And we've got Lockie. You're going as well, aren't you? Field was cold a month ago. Yes, mate. Yep, it'd be freezing. You're in the next location now. You're in Singo, aren't you? Lauren, please leave a thumbs up below the screen. Okay. Swollen wog nuts. Never had them. Scam on. What's going on, Kaz, mate? Hey, team. G'day, Swollen wog nuts. Brody Higgins, fantastic chat we had last night. A guy with a sense of humour. And is also part of the de-embarkation team that is about to head off. Make sure you change your name on social media. Who's right here on our list. And this list is part of a very large list that have been getting together on social media in a private room to be able to assist each other. So when they get to the land of the Hilton Kapooka Boot Camp recruit training, it's going to feel like a bloody reunion, like a Tasmanian wedding where everyone's related. Kyle W. G'day, mate. Got my assessment day tomorrow. Any tips? It's a tough one, assessment day, because you can have some surprises. All you got to do is go in there. Don't be a psycho. Don't overplay your card. If you've never been convicted of anything, then you've never done anything wrong. You're fit. You're good to go. And then you go into the 3 or 4 week fight camp to prepare yourself. And depending on how fit or unfit you are, it becomes inspiration or desperation. You'll be right. Hey, Willie. Hey, Kaz, mods, everyone else. And Jared Michael, great to have you here, mate. Howdy to you too. Willie, g'day, Kaz, mods, everyone. Yes, and we've got Jay Hayes. Gets promoted in less than a month. Captain Snooze would suit him also. That's a good point. He's a narcoleptic bloke. Spends more time on his head on a pillow than what he does with the hat on his head. Guardian 27. They need you in the US at the moment as part of Operation Legend. For those that don't know what that means that federal agents have now taken over democratic states, gone in there, to assist the police in those locations. Legend was the name of a 4-year-old boy who lost his life in gang violence as this epidemic within Democrat states of black-on-black violence. They've decided that's enough. So based on this poor young boy, they're dedicating the task force called Operation Legend to go in there and clean up the bloody mess. That the Democrat states are telling them, we don't want your help, we don't need your help, let it burn. I don't understand it. The first job of law enforcement, the first job of your elected officials is to serve and protect, is to provide a culture of safety. And that's not happening, not in the blue states. Yeah, a couple of them are starting to fight back and saying, we need security in our streets. And that's good to hear, because that's not a politics thing. That's a human right. All right. And if we're going to preach to the rest of the world, then we need to make sure we look after our own before we look after our own wallet. That's called leadership, not management. And Timmy Dowse, good to have you here, mate. Daz, cheers for that. Kaz, can't wait to hear what you've got to say. Tuned in. I hope you like what I've got to say, Daz. It was a bit of a left field question, actually, and I don't know if there's a good answer to it. Is it actually for your friend, or is it for you? I hope it's the answer you're after, mate. Let's talk about a couple of names. We've got 28 Platoon, we'll call it for now, that's about to take off next weekend. Next Monday, Tuesday. I won't read any second names. I don't want any butthurt bloody people complaining about me mentioning their double names. I'm not talking about subscribers here. I'm not talking about people from the channel. I'm talking about people with a common sense of a gnat taking offense to something that should not offend. All right. Wait 2 seconds. Cameron Barnes. I thought that was going to say Cameron Baird VC for a second, but he's not with us. God rest his soul. Welcome to the Bearer of Coffee, Cameron Barnes. Boom. Well done, sir. And you are now the L. And I don't mean that for loser. I mean that for you are the 50th member to join the channel. The 50th member. Thank you, sir. We don't talk, anyone that's been in the army a long time, anyone that's been in the world a long time doesn't ever say the word Barnes, like Barnes, in case you've watched Platoon. A fantastic movie, one of my favorites. I was always confused why sections were getting led by sergeants, but that's what happens in the US. There's so many sergeants, you'd be confused. And in Australia, there's only one, and that's Platoon Sergeant, or in fact, just Sergeant. So this is the names of those that are about to head off together to meet each other. And this is only a fraction. Apparently there's about 25. On the 27th and 28th, we've got Terrell, we've got Connor, we've got Beto, we've got Nicholas, we've got Kai, we've got O-Waves, we've got, and by the way, Connor Sell is going RAF. So we've got blue and green should never be seen together tonight, Army and Air Force. We've got Manuel, and we've got the Great Dane. Okay, and we've got username. And that's just some of those. That's not even half of those that are going. So the tough thing for this channel is going to be, at times it's going to feel like a little bit of a desert over here. And that should be a good thing. That's a sign of success. It's not because people are leaving the channel. What that means is, hey, Ron, what it means is that people are successfully getting their dream shot. They're actually going to Kapooka. They can't be on here when they're actually at Kapooka. So the absence of humanity in the comments area normally means that we've had a really good, successful drive and got people into the military, and one day they'll thank us in return. Maybe. Hey, Ron. Hey, all, I'll be listening in the background. That's lurking. Hey, Ron. Mr. Bryce, thank you for your service, veteran. Timmy Dowse. Nope, eating Lauren. I can only cook one or two things. Well, the pears and the crumb cutlets. Crumb cutlet, that's what we put on something that's when the meat gets a little bit old. PK Cameron Barnes, well done for joining the team. Yes. Lachlan Hobbs, if anyone wants to know tips about Kapooka, give me a yell, because he's current. Okay. What I do recommend there, Lockie, is that you change your name to an alias, mate. Then let us know what it is so that you don't get yourself in the shit, because it is a serious thing. So watch out for that one. Beliza Davis, that's a nice name. Pretty sure it is a stag pit. Stag pit going in. Okay, I had my date moved back because they didn't get enough females for the 27th. Isn't it ridiculous? You should be able to go in there by yourself. It's no problem. There's a rule. There's no fraternisation. That's all I need to say. Yeah. It doesn't even need a male and a female's bathroom. Should be just one bathroom, unisex. Fine. Drunk Irishman. We've got a drunk Aussie and a drunk Irishman. I hope you don't meet. There might be a scrap. Good evening, everyone. I hope you all have a great week so far. That's SOS. That's help for some others. We've got the Guardian. We've got C9 900, CN 900. Do infantry see combat when deployed these days? Of course they do. That's their job, to seek, getting close to the enemy, kill, catch him, seize, not ground, repel, attack by day, not regardless of weather or terrain. But it depends on the enemy. We're on the front foot. We go out and search. They try to use their weapon, throw it into the bushes, and then claim to be victims. That's asymmetric warfare. We're going to talk about something else in a second. A cam cream. Now there's a name for you. There's two sorts of cam cream. You can get the oil-based and the chalk-based. Team, I'm telling you, chalk-based all the way. If you get chalk-based makeup, you can go, that's like theatre paint. Can't even feel it on your face. Doesn't leave any residue at all on your sleeping bag, or your hat or anything else. If you get that greasy Army Reserve shit that they hand out to people that put it on like they're on the cast of the Joker, it's disgusting. And when it sweats, it starts to run as well. So cam cream, what do you got? Hey, mate, it's been a while since I've dropped in. Good news is my mate is at Duntroon. Awesome. We need good people on that wall. Training as we speak. Here's some support. Not too cow, cam cream. Good to have you here. Do you use chalk base or oil base? So I asked a question too on the thumbnail team. You might not have got a chance to see it. Hey, Michael Stott, medic! Unisex shower sounds like Starship Troopers. It's, you know what it's for? It's for adults. That's what it's for. You don't get a unisex. Oh, you do get a unisex toilet when you're out in the field environment, and that's called squatting, near the platoon sergeant and laying waste, and us looking the other way. That's all it is. My name comes from my Army Cadet days. Oh, there you go. CC, we'll call you, which could also be 200 in Roman numerals. So we've done our call out for Kirsten. Kynan wants, Kynan Peppers wants some exercises that can improve. Well, everything you do to intensity will work. I believe that you should have a running track that goes from your front doorstep, and it goes out 1.2 kilometers. So anytime you want, you can go out, run out your front door, run 1.2 kilometers and run back. You don't even need to do stretches. Why? Because you're not sprinting. It's not a sprint. It's a cardio run. 1.2 kilometers out, 1.2 kilometers back, but don't sprint for the end and then run into the front door. That's a good way to also have a bit of a laugh at yourself and then work on a PB. What's your fastest doorstep to doorstep lap you can do? And you can do more than one of those if you want. Other ones is dips. Dips is fantastic for muscular endurance. Okay, it's also good for power. It's also good for strength. All right, and moving your actually body mass. Then you got push-ups. We all know about those. I've put videos out. There's swimming. I deliberately put the pool in the thumbnail so you understand that swimming is one of the most important things and a fantastic low intensity exercise that you should do. You really should. And you have to do it for at least 30 meters, which is pathetic. We'll talk about the 2-hour fitness test after too if you want. Other exercises. Chin-ups is one of the best exercises you can do, which is about moving your own body weight. Take into account once you put body armor on, helmet, etc. If you go to infantry, you're going to have to do all of these things and still be able to do those chin-ups. So what would normally be 10 might be 2 with your equipment on. What else? Bench press. Tricep pull downs. Get into platforming. All the work you do on your abs, takes pressure off your back. It's great. You need to do it. Tighten your rig too. So that's a good one, Kynan Peppers. But running is a really fantastic one. You just don't do it every single day. Next question was from Daz. Daz asks his mate, every time you say my mate wants to know, you're like, come on, is it you or is it your mate? But Daz, his mate was an ex-AGI, which is Special Forces Air Force. They'll tell you that. And he wants to have another go but this time he wants to go in the army and go to infantry. Problem being, he's 50 years old. So I'd hold the bat up and say, well done, I'm making a half century, but you know, they're not going to let you into infantry at 50 years old at all. No chance. None. You know, you don't have anything to offer at 50 years old. They've already got people out the door, around the corner, and all the way across the Nullarbor Plains lining up to go to infantry. There is no reason for them to bring in someone at 50 years old that won't have a capability plus 4 army. Okay? So I'd tell him, if he was coming at 50 years old, use that wisdom. If they let you in at all, go for transport, okay, or go for signals. Fantastic one. It's a small team environment. Or I'd say go intelligence or something like that, yeah? But they're not going to want you in the combat corps. That's about young up and thrusters, and it's not that you're not capable physically, but you can actually, the older you get, the less malleable mentally you can become, and the less accepted that you can become socially by the team you're in. Yeah. So I just recommend for him to go to a skill-based one, or something that can give him the best tickets. If 4 years later, 6, 8 years later, he feels like he's ticked those bases off, then he can be on the Nullarbor Plains. Listening to Joe Rogan, getting smarter by the mile. I hope that helps, Daz. What's the next one? Mark Mace says, an Aussie bug-out bag. What should the contents be? A pair of boardies, a T-shirt, a flannel, you know, some goggles, righto, so you can go down and get some tucker from the ocean. You know, it should have $1,000 in small denomination notes, no coins required. No suntan lotion, you can't live in fear. You know, maybe some Subway vouchers, maybe a loyalty card for McDonald's coffee. And what else would you have? Some phone numbers of people that you pretend to be friends with, you know, in emergencies. All right. Mobile phone charger, knife, pocket knife, not a dodgy double-edged one that's going to get you arrested. And basically what do you have? Probably an iPad too, so you can pick up some porn when you're in the right area. Overflowing Stage 3 Pit is an RR guy. There you go, mate. Not too cow. Thanks for the yellow, mate. You don't need to do that. It's great. It's just great to have you here. You know, throw us a bit of wisdom, Overflowing Stage 3 Pit. Tell me how you're experiencing it at the moment. And Vegemite also goes in the bag for Stoddy. That'll keep the backpackers away. 50 in infantry. Imagine. It wouldn't go down. It wouldn't. Dylan G, is it worth it to join the Army Reserve before you go into full-time as a preparation? No. Job after you have a full-time job? No, because it doesn't give you necessarily a good indication of what it's like to have a military career. It's a completely different lifestyle being an Army Reserve to being in regular Army, where you can't tap out, where you can't quit. It is your full-time, 24-hour, 7-day-a-week career. Yep. Miss Angela, how you going? I'm a little bit manic at the moment. It could be there's a little bit of mania because I've been watching a little bit of Kanye West. But a really serious note, I'm going to share this one with you. I hope you like this, Mr. Bryce and Addy Boy, Timmy Doust, etc. This here team. This is close to my heart. Very close. That close. Okay, why is it? That there is my grandfather's pocket watch, what he worked in the railway, yeah? Wait 2 seconds. There. Still works. Okay. There's his regimental number on the back. That's what you're working towards, a regimental number. This watch would have been looked at by my grandfather while he was holding it working on the railway, probably every couple of minutes, like an OCD. Looking at every couple of seconds. This would have been his most prized possession. Take it everywhere. What's in your pockets? Peter McKinnon item. Not so cow for the yellow too. Before there, over Flowing Stage 3 Pit. Now, this was given to me by my uncle, my dad's brother. And the importance behind that is that when he gave this to me, that would have been his prized possession too. I never met my grandfather. He died just before I was born and just before my dad went to Vietnam. So I'm the custodian of this now, you know. And why is it so important? Well, it's my dad's birthday today. He turned 80 years old. today, 80. He's had a good bloody wicket, and I've never seen him do a single thing for himself. Everything he does is for mum or his kids or other people. Even golf. He's so bad at it. He turns up and gives the win to others. He's a champion. I love him. He's my inspiration. He's the reason why I was in the military. He is the reason why I was born on Anzac Day. He's the reason why my daughter, no, he's not the reason my daughter was born on Remembrance Day. That was my fault. But you've got to have someone you look up to, and I hope it's not a celebrity. Let it be someone in your family, or let it be you to someone else. You are starting a franchise where your actions, not just your words, are going to lead down to others, and one day people will be saying your name. What you do now incrementally will turn into a journey, which will turn into a story, which will turn into an entertaining life lesson, wisdom book for others. And I know you can do it. Grandpa Frank, all the best. It's your son's birthday today, and I'm holding you here so that you know we're thinking about you. Can we get some thumbs up, please, for Frank Caswell? Fantastic man. They say he was the best Caswell, and I never got to meet him. All right. See you, mate. Happy birthday to your son. And happy birthday to Dad, who doesn't watch the channel. He thinks I talk too much for sure. We've got Grid there. Thanks, mate. Not Sue Cow, my man. Enlisting in the army on the 31st of August. Have we got you down here, Grid? Okay. I'll make sure that I add you to the list, because you've got a lot of people going on the 31st as well, mate. Make sure you keep looking at the comments in when do you join. Maybe I'll put another video out for that so that you can get RV'd with those who are going to be your best mates. And Not Too Cow, thank you very much. You've been with us for ages. Stoddy, that's why I said Vegemite. Lauren, Vegemite for me is a comfort item. Mr. P says a century has been made. All we want is more thumbs up. There we go. Lauren, shucks, thank you, Angela. My family is my highest priority. I'm not sure what she said. Lauren, heard wonderful things about you and your family. I admire you as a mother. Yep. Angela is my coffee, my go-to coffee person, and all we do is pick each other and take the piss out of each other and annoy each other, as our kids go to the same school. The beer from up here, Grid, I am. There you go. There's another one going on the 31st. Well done. You've already got a compadre, Batman's Robin, Deadpool, Tonto, not so much. Leo, happy birthday, Dad. Not Too Cow. I love the bloke. He's a man of few words, unlike myself, or like myself. I'm going to go up. I'm taking him a pair of Merrills. I've got him some chocolate, not chockies. It's a loaded question there. And what I'm also taking him is a seafood extravaganza, and also from Peter Alexander. Is it Peter Alexander? The pajama shop. I'm going to take him a pajamas T-shirt. Should be fantastic. Whether he'll ever wear it, I don't know. What do we got? Survival Man. G'day, mate. How you going? Lauren Shining, happy birthday, Mr. Caswell. Very nice. Thank you. Tyler. G'day, Kaz. Had to see the medic for Jazz before going on to Resolute. Yep. Had to take 2 hours off work to do so. When I got back to work, my employer fired me. What? We don't want you here anymore, I was told. That's pretty crazy. Guess who's ringing? Wait 2 seconds. Excuse me, Hillary Clinton.
Fucking Beetlejuice is going to get her ass kicked.
Yeah, mate, you're on air at the moment. I'll give you a call when we get off.
Beetlejuice 2020.
Beetlejuice is the mayor of Chicago at the moment, that actually looks like a disgusting little demonic creature, who seems to be all up for going all in for the destruction of her own town. She should be sacked and treated like a traitor and dragged through the streets behind a horse, a slow horse, so the gravel rush is better.
She was gobbing off about Trump while that mass shooting was taking place.
They call it gang violence because they're not allowed to call it a mass shooting when it's black on black. And they shot down 14, including kids, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
It's terrible, mate. Can I give you a call when I get off?
Black Lives Matter.
When I get off, that sounds okay. See you later, mate. When it rains, it shines. Yeah, I can't believe it. You want leadership. When you get in the military, you can go to some very, very hairy places. And I'm not talking about a Moroccan's lip. And if you've got people that are partisan or political, holy shit, you can get yourself in danger quickly. You need to go with people that are there to achieve the mission, and you should never go somewhere unless you're allowed to try and win. I've been to places where we didn't go to win, and now I have problems because of that. Leo Wanker, not too cow. Thank you for the well wishes for Dad, mate. Thank you very much. Pop Caswell. He's a veteran too, Vietnam veteran. Yep. He was there with Cav in a recovery vehicle. Tyler. Okay, yep. Yeah, so they got rid of you. What's going on there, Tyler? Is that because you put too much into the military? Emma, great to see you here too, mate. Mate, all we've done today is outline the fact that it's my pop's birthday. We've basically read out the names of those that are about to leave on Monday. We've put the thumbnail out showing the swimming pool where so many will suffer. And the reason why I put that there is everyone that wants to join the army. I want you to understand you cannot use COVID as an excuse. There is a requirement that you must be allowed to swim, have to be able to swim. And that is at least 30 meters, but that's also in your uniform minus boots. And you also have to be able to tread water for at least 2 minutes. The reason why it's 30 meters is because that's the length of the pool. Yep. So you'll go to the length at the end of the pool. They'll either give you the option to touch the end and wait till everyone's finished, then push off and then tread for 2 minutes, or it'll be get to the end, don't touch the end and start treading water, wait for everyone to catch up, and then the 2 minutes starts. If you can't swim, you better learn quick, because they don't just come over when you start to panic and go under water. They'll let you lay on the black line for a while before they actually do anything to help. Okay, now you're going. I don't know where you find these things like the red thumb from, but not too cow, mate. Great to have you here, as always. Have you done your U session yet? Poor bloody Duffer the other day reckons he deleted the link that they sent him and he missed his session. Jake, okay, Kaz, what are your thoughts on gappies? I'm not a fan of the gap year other than looking at it from a national service point of view. And the reason why I say it, Jake, is one, it doesn't teach you how to be a soldier so much. It teaches you how to be an all-core soldier. It makes you do all the hard work, but doesn't give you the rewards. You miss out on all the good things of finally passing all your training, and then you're out in the Army Reserve going, what do I do now? Where it's great is if you have a profession. I can see you down there too there, Dusty Rhodes. Not too cow. Where being a gap year could work well would be if you were a tradesman, if you were a copper, or you were something like that, and it allowed you to go in, streamline, do all of your training for 1 year, come out, have courses all done, and then you're a fully qualified Army reservist, with all your tickets done and out the way. That's about it. Other than that, I think that the government gets all of the good news, and you do all the hard work, and you can break glass, be called back at a moment's notice. I just don't know what's in it for you. And they may not even let you sign on for the next 4 years if you decide, hey, shit, I don't want to go home again. Mr. Anderson, happy birthday to your old man, Kaz. Mucho respecto to you and your ancestors. Enjoy a coffee with your dad, mate. Nutsu cow. Nutsu cow. Thank you very much, mate. It's a scary thing when you get to our age, isn't it, Mr. Anderson? Mr. P would know about this too, that there is a time where it doesn't matter how fit your old man is or your mum. It's a mathematics game. And you always think to yourself, what's going to happen one day when your rock is not there? Can you step up to the plate and be the head of the family? so to speak? Will you be able to pass a test? Are you as unselfish as what those were before you to allow you to prioritize those that are under your cloak, okay, so to speak? I watched a lot of videos in the last 24 hours on people that reward their fathers with a car of their dreams, so to speak. And that's where I realized that the real wealth in the world is living your life, having stories, completing things. It's not about money. Because when you see the people that have a mum and dad that they love so much that when they finally got ahead, they actually bought their father or mother their dream item. What's the first thing big sportsmen do? They go back and they reward their parents, because the family unit is the most important thing in the world. If you got bad parents, go and make someone. Yeah. Billy Oceans, lover boy, and make a family, and then give them the respect. And don't take as long to do it as what a lot are these days. Anyway, Jay Hayes, chilling out over in WA. Have we got the Jester here tonight? Arctic Ace, come for a swim in Tassie. You'd want to get out of it as fast as you can. Oh, I've got some, what do you call them? I've got some bloody, what do they call? Ocean Delight. I've got some abalones that are shrinking in me jocks as I speak. Timmy doused. That's 11 or 12 cows. We don't need many cows tonight. Tonight is all about getting ready for 28 Platoon to step off, for them to get ready. It was only a couple of days ago we had 23 Platoon who right now have their heads shaved. But guess what's happening? And this is one you need to know, because all the people at 28 Platoon at the moment, I was having a swim in the bath last night in case any Navy guys come on. Is big-eyed Six here yet? I can see you there, hard yakka. Howdy, Kaz. Caught the stream late. Nah, you're fine, mate. Hope you're well. Had my psych yesterday and have had my defence interview tomorrow online due to COVID. Changed to 343, and he's keen. Good on you, mate. Bonza. I hope that he'll look back in years to come and go, I made the right decision. But then again, you know what? You can't be in hard yakka and then go to aviation, because that's double glazed windows, sucking on chocolate milk, wearing helmets and overalls. That's not real hard yakka. We need them up there, bud. Fidelity. Hey, Kaz, could somebody with sufficient but less than ideal high school grades increase their chance of getting accepted? Look to becoming 343 and join the brotherhood. You have to have year 10 in maths and English. That is the minimum standard that they're asking for, mate. Okay. There is TAFE courses you can go and do, and I believe on the ADF app that there is information and aptitude tests that you can also do. I recommend you go and have an interview face to face if you can, or you can't at the moment, to talk to recruiting and find out where you stand exactly, to get the good oil on what you need to do, where you need to be, and what's going to get you the straightest line between A and B. That's what I recommend for you, young mate. Rhinopolis, not so cow. Is there something you want to say? Ryan, you can't just come and make a donation, don't ask a question. We want to hear from you. There we go. The beer from up here. Welcome to the Great Unwashed. Thank you for being here too, member. And in 1 month from now, you'll be wearing Lance Jack stripes, which is the worst rank that you can have in the Australian Army. There's not one good thing about it. You get paid just enough money, okay, just enough to pay more tax, and that's it. But the amount of extra work you do, and you slash between somewhere, which is the diggers whinging, and the section commander saying, move your ass. Stickman's here. Hey, Conan. Where is he? Where's Sticky? There he is. Just woke up. Nicholas Jones. Raj, the direct entry scheme for SF is for 2 Commando, not SASR. Yep. And if you don't get in, you get posted to an infantry unit. So don't try unless you're committed to the Army. Kaz, please correct if I'm wrong. No, that's right. Nicholas. We're talking to Raj. Where's Raj so I can look at his exact question? It's important you do this one right, team. And I'm gonna give you, here he is. Raj from Tech Support. Is it worth joining infantry first before Special Forces, doing the direct entry recruiting scheme? Well, this is the thing, Raj. Just slow down a little bit there, team. And JC is here with his donuts. I see you there, my man. What flavour are they? You know, Operation Legend. You need to look into it, JC. You know, they're going ham over in the US. No more of this gang violence. They've got the big boys, you know, going in to sort out the shit and give the boys in blue a hand, putting a hand on the shoulder saying, it's okay, son, I'm here. Now give me the rest of your donut as I come on shift to help. Yep. I'd be very bloody nervous if I was a gangster at the moment. Yeah. Because the real ones are in there, you know, giving the cops a hand, and they deserve it and they need it. So, Raj, let's get to your question, mate. SF. You're taking a real gamble, rolling the dice by going for the direct entry scheme. And I'll tell you why. But you don't have a choice. They'll only let you in if they think you're a good candidate for that scheme, because it can cost a lot of money to get you in there. And when you see a direct entry platoon, you realise you're looking at something different. They're big boys. You know, they're very alert. They're very fit. They're very intelligent. You know, they're good to go. So it's not something you do just spare the moment. Oh, I might just do that instead. You don't get that choice. You got to do additional psychological screening, additional fitness testing, etc. But this is the way I see it. I always recommend that you look at it like Mount Everest. You know, what you've got is people that have already been in the army, infantry, operational, you know, commanders, section commanders, sergeants, officers. They're looking to go into 2 commando and even using that as a stage to get to SASR rather than going just for SASR. Because then you're learning additional language in the Special Forces community, despite the fact there's a lot of competition between them. Now, if you're going to go to Mount Everest, you don't go straight past base camp and just start going, I'll be right, altitude sickness, I'll carry my own pack, give me a go, I can do it. And then end up one of the dead bodies that stays there beside all the rubbish and oxygen tanks that have been discarded. No, I'm bringing your carcass back down. You go to base camp. Okay. The battalion is base camp. You go to the School of Infantry to meet the draft. And then you get sent to one of the teams, whether it's 1 RR, 2 RR, 3 RR, 3 I recommend. Okay. 5 RR, 6 RR, 7 RR, 8, 9. They're your football teams. Once you get to there, you've made the draft. You've been selected. You've been sent to a team. You do the training. You wait for the Special Forces roadshow to come around, pardon me, and do their recruiting drive. Then from there, you go to base camp. All right. You start training for 2 Commando or SASR. So you're at base camp and you decide what side of the mountain you want to climb onto to get to where you need to be. But by going to base camp, that means that you can learn the language. You can get acclimated to the altitude. That means you can learn all the good 2 knowledge, the language of living in the mountains. There's no safety line for those really that go straight for the 2 Commando DRS system if they fall short. Yeah, sure, they've got a break line where they can fall down and then they can land back in the Royal Australian Regiment. Maybe. Right? But they can also get the option to say, see you later if they get back squatted at Kapooka or School of Infantry because they're going to miss their muster, not get to go for commandos. And if they are in a position where they're going commandos or nothing, yet they don't even know what it's like to be in the army yet, you know, they could make an emotional decision that could hurt them. So what I recommend is if you want to go to 2 Commando or SASR, you don't even know who you are yet, go and find out about yourself by joining infantry because that is a prerequisite for going to 2 Commando anyway. And once you get there, learn the language, learn the weapons, get the body sorted, administration sorted, have a rest, and then go for it. Go for Everest and choose either SAS side or the Commando side. I'm sure they'll all prefer you to take your time, learn the language, get older, let your scaffolding strengthen. You'll be good. You get one shot at a team. If you get one shot at it. Because if it takes you more than one, chances are you're going to have psychological damage, especially when you're going to it knowing you've already failed in the past. So do it right. Do it right the first time. Gordon and Sandy, it's been a while. Got to head off, you guys. Don't think Kaz saw the thanks above, but I'll say thanks again. I've gone from Civvy to Chock. Awesome. Now transferring to ARA Infantry. Cheers for the help last year as a civvy. That's it, mate. Gordon and Sandy, make sure you give me a call. I'd love to talk to you. You've been here for a long time. I wouldn't like us to have our last saying as just a text here, just a comment. I'd love to hear your voice. Flubber, g'day, mate. Thank you very much, Flubber, for joining us. Okay, not just here, but also, okay, on the channel as often as what you have been. It's great to have you here. Okay, can you go into SF from non-infantry corps? Not into 2 Commando, you can't. 2 Commando is advanced infantry. Either way you butter it. If you go in there from another corps and you want to go for 2 Commando, what'll happen is you'll go and do the testing, and then from there I go, okay, now you got to go to infantry. Go and do that. Go and do that training. It's almost like a corps transfer, and then come over to them as advanced infantry. Then, yep. Mr. Anderson says, JC Krispy Kreme. Now you're talking my language. I could do a donut now, actually. Nicholas Jones, hyphenated name, is it? No. Kaz, why 3RR? I don't know much, but the amphibious 2RR has always looked cool. Well, 2RR has only had that role for a little while. 1, 2, and 3, that's like 3 teams in the one area are naturally going to be better than one team that's isolated, 7RR or 5RR. And 3RR has always been part of the ADF operational ready group with 1 and 2RR, which meant for the tradition, for the longest time, the 3rd Battalion ever raised of the Royal Australian Regiment, okay, they were in the mix that used to get more money. They used to be in the para role. Okay, they lost that when they went to Townsville. 1 and 2RR were part of the ADF. It was the operational deployment force, which meant no matter what happened, there was only 1 of 2 battalions that was going to go. It was either going to be 1RR or it was going to be 2RR. That's it. It was one of those 2. No other battalions. Okay, then that changed up with operational tempo when Timor started, and now there's an opportunity for almost any battalion to go first as the responsibility gets rotated around. But the pedigree has always been 1, 2, and 3 or 6RR. Yep, pretty much. Yep. Don't get butthurt over that if you don't like what you're hearing. 3RR is a fine battalion, but if you had a choice and you're absolutely not sure, you want to go to Townsville, 1, 2, or 3, amphibious, 2RR, fine. But it's a smaller unit now. It's been scaled down because of its skilled role. 1RR, I'd go there. If you want to go and just be infantry in Townsville, reason is they're the closest to Kentucky, to the shops, to the sporting fields, to the swimming pool, etc. 3RR is like the ugly stepbrother that's way down the back, in a hawk is, where hardly a gust of wind other than the hot air that comes out of a quoit after a big lunch comes out. So just based on geography alone, I pick 1RR, the big blue one. Having said that, at the moment, we're having a lot of a bingle with the red state, our favourite food that you take the MSG from. And remember, every time they've locked horns with Australia, Australia wins. Capion, yep, over in Korea. All right. Also, Samashon with the 2nd Battalion. They don't do well against Australians, not well at all. There's a whole lot of stuff happening at the moment, and I don't know if we should talk about it on here, actually, because YouTube doesn't like us talking about it at all. But I don't think there's an off-ramp between CHI and the USA. I don't think there's an off-ramp. Neither one of those is going to go back. The best thing that can happen to the red state would be if something happened to Donald Trump or he didn't win the election and a weaker person came in from the Democratic Party, or someone stepped up to his position from the Republican Party if something was to happen to Senior Trump. Because the biggest mistake that's ever happened here is the CCP has been led by Xi Jinping, and he's not going to back down. He's emperor for life, so they can't replace him with someone else to allow the intensity to go down. So what we're seeing is Taiwan is having flybys of jets going into international waters, into their waters causing shit. We've seen Japan has now removed 87 of their businesses, paid for them to leave and go back home. We've seen Taiwan be granted access, I believe, at the moment for the Patriot missile program. We've seen the US just kick the Chinese consulate out of Houston. The grumblings that are happening here, you should listen to. Does it affect Australia? Absolutely. I just don't know how.